All right, what's up? It's your boy, Brat Krusker, a comedian. Yeah, we're gonna be reviewing Bryan Callen for the False Gods special up on YouTube. Now, if you know anything about Bryan Callen and think maybe this is an easy target, I hear you. But the original plan was to review Natalie Cuomo, and I honestly started watching it, and I think that's an even easier target than this. And this is more topical. This is more. This just came out a couple months ago. I think people have mostly made their minds up on it. But okay. So Bryan Callen is one of the sort of coattail riders to Joe Rogan. I mean, if that sounds harsh, I mean, I'm sorry. It's just the truth. One thing you'll notice about people like Bryan Callen and a lot of the Joe Rogan coattail riders, they have a lot of got a lot of very extreme imagery and just the way they talk about comedy sometimes. Yeah, sometimes just in the way they talk about it, like in the specials, like False Gods. It's like a very like ooh, it's kind of like a edgy kind of title for it, and it's like, oh, what could this possibly mean? Like, this is serious. It's like when was it Tony Hinchcliffe and Joe Rogan talking about the top 250 comedy assassins. They're like Navy SEALs, bro. This is me, someone. I'm not thinking about all the headlines right now. I'm not thinking about all the allegations. I'm going in as someone completely unbiased. I'm not looking at this right here. I'm not that. I'm an undecided voter. I need you to woo me, Brian. You know that and not the way you normally try to do that. Whenever I see Bryan Callen do this kind of stuff, like all the like flexing and all I can think of is that clip of Brendan Schaub like threatening to sexually assault him.
You bully me, bro. I don't give a shit about your UFC bullshit. I will fucking come right at you.
I could pin you on the ground right now and put my dick in your mouth.
You could
for
try.
no reason.
Yes, the mothership. No, I don't know, man. It's good.
That's the other thing. This is recorded at Joe Rogan's mothership. I know that because he just said that. And in the title, it says very clearly, live at Joe Rogan's comedy mothership. Did you really need to put Joe Rogan's name in the title of your special? Was that necessary, Brian? Anyway.
They get you with an image. They capture you. And, like, I'll just see an image of, like, a woman in a bikini on a skateboard. No, but I have to make sure she's safe.
I don't get it, and I understand he like said that like in his like inflection and everything, and like the pacing is like designed to like make people laugh at it, but I really don't get it. I'm curious if like looking at the rest of his stand-up, he always looks as like panicked as he does. This is the face of someone like pleading for their life right now. Does he look this scared and man tears? Oh, it looks like he's just kind of chilling there.
You know what? No.
How about no?
That everybody wants to eat my liver. That's how it is.
Looks like he's just kind of having a good time. Never grow up. How about this one?
Please give a big Irvine.
Precision and the vulnerability in my eyes.
It's very straight, man.
You know, this is what
I
happens.
hope he's not scared. He's at his best friend's comedy club.
Now then what happens? Then I get to another reel where a dude, he's a cowboy, a real one. You guys know this. Most of you probably own horses here. And dude, he's a horseman. He's on a horse, a real cowboy. Hat, buckle, rope. He wrangles cattle. That's his job. Dungarees, like, right? Like, this is a man who comes home and he smells like steer. You know?
So I'm not laughing at all, and just based on the little bit I know about Bryan Callen and the more so I know about Joe Rogan, they're not big material guys. Not a lot of like actually put together jokes that they do. Very heavy on sort of like goofy act outs. This is probably not going to be a very good time for me if this is just describing things you saw in your phone and doing act outs. I'm in for a rough 56 minutes.
A cowboy is nothing less than a man who specializes in breaking any.
So I'm 2.5 minutes into this fucking shit. You want to talk about some? So I'm not. I was just saying I'm not a big act out guy. I can't even really say that I'm like not into act outs because like
Push the lever. Hey, are you still reading this?
he has subtle facial expressions he gets in there. He's using his hands. Like this is kind of a bad example, but like watch this.
Born to ride. So we get outside. He's got this big giant motorcycle, and he's, we put the helmets on. He's like, hop on, I'm at the age where I don't really hop that well. My hop is like, okay.
Why am I not watching Brian Regan right now?
Hang on, getting all hopped on here.
He's doing like goofy act outs, and yeah, he's honestly, it's kind of like Jim Carrey. Like when you see like Jim Carrey like running backwards in Ace Ventura, it's just like that. Honestly, doesn't look easy to do. And then versus this guy who's just like
crushing really any
to ADHD fidgeting on stage, and then there's probably expects that to pass as like physical comedy.
That's not a guy who can ride a horse. That's a guy who will break a horse. That's the kind of guy who can be like, and his horse shows up.
There's act out approved. That one right there.
That's the kind of guy who can be like, and his horse
approved the act out. There we go.
Shows up. Right? I mean, dude. What a man. You guys know. You know.
You got a standing ovation for that act out.
Here's what got me. That guy sent a signal from his root chakra through his taint into the beast's back. And that signal was, go now. And dude, the horse was like, yes, master.
It's like vocabulary word comedy. It's like the whole point of that joke is like to say root chakra. That's how it comes off as to me. It's like, and so that people can be like, oh, yo, what a crazy reference that was.
To control 1,200 pounds of bone and muscle with naught but the golden crescent that is your inner thighs and taint. Dude.
I'm going to speak in silly, specific, mythological words.
What an exciting.
But he's getting it to a point. Let me not shit on it too much. There's a point to all this. Because he's going to bring it all back. He's going to bring it all back to the phone bit and how and the whole purpose of it is how it makes you feel inadequate just with the prevalence of social media.
He's a sensual chef. He wears naught but an apron. An apron.
Stop. He said not. That's the same joke.
1,200 pounds of bone and muscle with naught but the golden crescent.
You can't just do like naught but an apron and then naught but the fucking crescent. Whatever. He just said it.
He's got, first of all, his skin, his marble brown skin that sweats olive oil naturally. Dude, his I don't know how to describe his body. If it was a landscape, it would be unsafe to traverse in a regular car. You need special shocks. Even then, you'd be like, this is crazy, dude. Just got goose. His body was demoralizing. Like, I was going to work out that day, and I was like, it's no point. Like, right? Like, why go to the gym? I'm an imposter. Nothing's going to grow. I'm not going to look like that. And the dude, he's a chef, so he just looks at me through these Mediterranean curls. The way he thwacked it to the counter.
This has been an open mic set so far. It's been about 5 minutes. Honestly, it's got to be fucking brutal because I imagine if you're Bryan Callen, you really don't have much of an option but to be like doing this where it's like you're just squeezing as much as you possibly fucking can out of nothing. Like he's talking about bullshit. This is just nothing but bullshit so far. Because what's he gonna do when you're that famous and all that, and especially you're like hate famous, like Bryan Callen is. Like people don't even really like you. Like it's like you're gonna go out and fuck around at like bikes or something. Like you're gonna get mobbed by a bunch of fighter in the subreddit enjoyers, and they're just gonna dunk on you the whole time. This guy's life is hell. Like that footage of him from like the past specials, like there was still light in his eyes, and now like all the allegations and the subreddit, I don't know. I think it might have taken this man's soul.
Forearms, I swear to God, looked pregnant. Like the kind of forearms, just the vascularity. They look like a cluster of angry horse dicks. He takes a naked hand, and goes wrist deep into a vat of raw honey. A vat. Who has a vat? This guy. And just comes up with a wasteful amount.
And then after he does that last cooking thing, he does this. He reaches with his bare hand into a container. Who has this specific type of container? And then does it. And then he does that cooking thing. And then next, he reaches in with his bare hand into this specific cooking container. Who has that specific cooking container? reach into the specific container, describe it in a silly, verbose way, using like a word that you heard in a Bethesda game, and then
I was like, what are you going to do with that? And he didn't answer. He just began to rub it. I know, some of it made it to the meat. And my wife came in, and she was like, why are you making that face? And I was like, because I'm hungry and probably gay.
yeah, man, no shit, bro. That was it? That's all it...
I know, my daughter screamed gross and ran from the room. So the point
That's crazy that this guy has daughters, honestly.
is I spent too much time on my phone.
Oh, that was it! That was the old joke? Ah, that was the point. I guess I'm not surprised that was the punchline to all this, but holy shit, bro. If I was, like, hosting a show and I, like, saw one of my friends do that, and, like, I'm gonna do 10 minutes where I literally just describe made-up things that I never actually saw on my phone that didn't even happen, and then the punchline is just like... Anyway, I spent too much time on my phone. I'd be like, dude, why did I do this? Like, if I'm booking a show and one of my boys comes and fucking does that to me on my show, I'm like, do you hate me? Like, what did I do to make you want to sabotage my fucking show like that? He'll lock in after this. That's just the first 8 minutes, 58 seconds.
I'm not a health crank. Like, you got to get sunlight, get sunshine, direct sunshine, at least 20 minutes on your genitals.
Take a shot every time Bryan Callen describes male physiology.
Right? Like, this is a man who comes home and he smells like steers, looks at me through these Mediterranean curls, his root chakra, through his taint, marble brown skin that sweats olive oil naturally. But if it was a landscape, it would be unsafe to traverse. His body was demoralized. Forearms, I swear to God, looked pregnant. Like, the kind of forearms, just the vascularity, they look like a cluster of angry horse dicks with gorilla necks who can deadlift 500 pounds, you know. Like, my doctor has abs. It's crazy, right? It gave way under his heavy fingers with a moaning crunch. Just don't go crazy, but if you have a pale vagina or penis, you're not healthy. We know that. We know that, right? Go right into a sauna. Go right in. You want to go from the waters of the Arctic to Death Valley because that's natural. And yeah, and you sit in the sauna. Sit in there. I don't give a shit. How hot should it be? It should be so hot it makes you a better person, okay? Okay.
Is that a mug or a thermos he has on the stool with him? That's kind of crazy.
If you're not running in heavy sand barefoot at least 3 days a week, I do not know what to tell you. I don't. And I can't stand...
I think there's like a disconnect with the audience because it sounds like he's ironically saying all these things to shit on this kind of like health science, but people who listen to this kind of health science is gonna be his audience. Like, people who listen to like Joe Rogan talking about David Goggins about how it's like you should like roll around in broken glass every day.
Can't wait.
You know what? I think maybe I was talking about how I saw something saying that he bummed. Maybe does the responses start getting quieter and worse as the special goes on. He does not stop talking. He's like not taking a breath, and that is usually a pretty telltale sign. Like, whether you got like laughs and all like in the background or not. Like, if you're not like pausing, if you're like crushing doing stand up, you have to stop talking. Otherwise, like, because, like, sometimes you, like, can't even hear yourself talk, and you gotta, like, let the fucking room get back down. If you're doing your job. But, like, this guy's just fucking... Did you
ever see what the kids were capturing themselves? Sucker punching people on the street. I went nuts. I looked at my wife. I go, first of all, you're too relaxed. I need your head on a swivel. When you're walking down the street, I want your hands up. I want you bobbing and weaving at all times. You know what I mean? And my wife is like, the kids are opening their presents, you know? I'm like, Christmas can wait. But, you know, by the way, I still box. I still keep myself. I'm always ready. And the other day, this is what happens to me. I always say, go light.
Look at that cut right there.
Still keep myself. I'm always ready. And the other day, this is what happens to me. I always say, go light. I'm rolling with this kid, 26 years old, gives me his ankle. Don't give me your ankle, bro. You can't just leave your ankle like that. I'm an ankle guy. I'm an ankle.
What?
I'm rolling with this kid, 26 years old, gives me his
Talking about
ankle.
jujitsu now.
I still keep myself. I'm always ready. And the other day, this is what happens to me. I always say, go light. I'm rolling with this kid, 26 years old.
You can't do this, Brian. You can't, like, you gotta set up that. See, like, I know I've done Brazilian jiu-jitsu before, so I know what rolling is. So I'm not, but even I, like, got caught off guard by that. Call it gay or something, or explain what Brazilian jiu-jitsu is, and then say that, like, just say you're sparring, bro. Like, not everybody, maybe if you're in Austin, everybody knows what Brazilian jiu-jitsu is, but, like, fuck, man. Get it to, this is stand-up 101, bro. You're just saying shit that doesn't make sense to the people in front of you. Get it together.
Don't give me your ankle, bro. You can't just leave.
Because, like, right now, it's like, all I know is that you were talking about boxing and you were talking about watching kids on the street, and now you're like, yeah, this kid left me his ankle. I'm an ankle guy. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, if I didn't already know that that the slang he used was related to Brazilian jiu-jitsu and all that, I'm just like, this guy needs to go in a mental hospital somewhere. And I still kind of do think that.
Like, I'm an ankle guy. I'm an ankle guy. You must have forgot, you know? I picked that. I just got that. I scooped that up, drove him right down to the mat, had an ankle sky high, and then I had trouble looking left for 11 days. Worth it. I'm just afraid.
I did jujitsu. I have no idea what any of that shit he said just meant. Like, why did you have trouble looking to the left? What are you talking about? You slammed somebody and now you can't see. It's like, it didn't feel like he was doing like like, I'm old, my body doesn't work kind of bit. He was talking about being scared of social media. So it's like, the shit just isn't fucking connecting. It's like, you should know better than this, man.
You get to an age where if I have to fight for my life, if somebody attacks me on the street and I gotta go from 0 to 100 like that, I better be very warm and thoroughly stretched. I'll pull everything, bro.
I don't know. It's kind of like, even in his, like, my body's falling apart, I'm old kind of jokes, he, like, still wants you to think he's, like, a tough guy. Nobody thinks that about you, man. How old are you, bro? You're 58, brother. You're like the same age as, like, Mike Tyson, basically. And we saw him fight at that age, bro. It ain't pretty, dude. Bryan Callen, if you're out there, I'm a white belt, no stripe. I would probably stretch you, not gonna lie. But I remember my mom told me, she, like, saw this guy at, like, the Greensboro Comedy Zone however many years ago, and then, like, it was the funniest thing ever. She went there with her friend Karen, and then he asked what her name is, and then she said Karen, and then he was like, oh, and then the whole room laughed. It's like, yeah, bro, I bet that's it. And that was, like, the highlight of the show afterwards, and it's like, I bet it was, you know, it's like something that, like, a joke that just writes itself in your presence because someone has the funny meme name on Facebook.
It's just, it's too heavy. I know, it just throws my hips off. I can't.
He has all this, like, tough guy stuff, but then all of his material is about how he's a pussy. And it's not, like, but it's not in, like, a self-aware kind of way. He's, like, he's still desperately, like, we can, with the clip of him, with him and Schaub that I probably already edited into this video. Maybe I'll show it again.
I could pin you on the ground right now and put my dick in your mouth.
But it's like, the guy so desperately wants to be seen as, like, a physically formidable dude. It's like, bro, just stop having a identity crisis at me, brother. It's like, the only people who really see the tough side of Bryan Callen are female comedians, unfortunately.
His shirt up, he's just kind of adjusting his clothes. He's got a dagger, a sheath knife. I mean, horrible looking dagger. Like, it's made for one thing. And he's wearing it this way so he can pull it this way, I guess. And I'm like, excuse me, sir, what is that for? And he goes, in case, bro. In case what? He's like, in case there's a situation, I gotta open somebody up. Open somebody up? He's like, this thing will unzip you right quick. I was like, unzip you? You sell real estate. Why are you talking like this? How many situations are you in where you're like, you know what, I gotta unzip? You said 3 bedrooms, fuck this, dude.
That was my favorite part of the special. so far. Good job, Bryan Callen. I kind of enjoyed that.
I fantasize about having that much money, and not because I have any charities in mind. I know, I think I just want it because I'm just at heart, I'm just a lazy bitch.
Why? He's like, with all the like fake tough guy stuff he does, it makes it more, I guess, uncomfortable when he gets like needlessly effeminate like this. And it's not just because like, it's not because that act itself is like making me uncomfortable. Like, why are you acting like a girl? Like, that's not what it is. But it's like you.
I have a whole joke about that. It's like fucking, you know, if I
It's
was
FBI agents.
You have a whole joke about this? What do you have a whole joke about something, Brian? What is it?
Losers. That's all it is. The whole fucking every protest,
Dude.
is FBI agents.
Well, tell the
and
joke.
losers.
I talk about this all the time. I'm like, for me, you want me to join a protest? You want me to get out on the street? First of all, to make a sign? The fuck out of here. And then
You don't have to make the sign. There's a guy with a van who's paid by George.
Bro, there is allegedly a joke that Bryan Callen has written and done before, and Joe Rogan is interrupting him before he can say what it is. I want proof that there's a Bryan Callen joke out there somewhere.
Gross.
Yes.
And he's got stacks
handing
of
them out?
signs that were made at Kinko's. Okay, they're not homemade at all. And you can just fucking just pass those bad boys out.
I'm never leading your revolution. My problem is my sign would say, ugh, or it's complicated.
Yeah.
This guy's just not very funny, man. Oh, man. That's such a lame fucking joke, bro. It's like, I don't know. That's the thing. Bryan Callen, he has like the humor of like a coworker, but he's like too much of a freaky fucking loser weirdo to even have that sort of appeal.
He's a sick wrestler. Metal Scamrod, he's a nasty wrestler.
Where's
It's
he
true.
from? Like
Poland,
that
Joe.
part of the world that you're terrified of.
Yeah.
Poland. He's
I
from
don't know.
Poland. You
The-
fucking.
the
Is
old-
Mateusz Gamrot not from Poland? You gotta know this shit, Joe. This is your fucking job.
I'd be like, I'm gonna be cuddling my pony and eating my bonbons.
Cuddling your pony and eating your bonbons, bro. That's the joke. Why are you? This guy, when you talk about just stage personas, Bryan Callen might be my pick for all time, like, worst stage persona. This whole, like, I'm having a nervous breakdown and I'm going to be super effeminate, but also it's like, I'm also, like, but not actually, though, because I'll like, but it, man. Anyway, Bryan Callen's about to lock in, trust me.
It's a house pony. Bored.
Who is this for? Like, what dude is gonna watch this and like go to work and be like, "Yo, I watched the new Bryan Callen special," and that part where he acts like sexually frustrated and metrosexual the whole time? It was awesome. Like the part where he's just like, "I have a house pony." It's like, what guy? It's like it's got to be like a girl who sees this. But, like, no girls are going to be fucking with you, Brian. None of them. You know, it's just women who haven't read any articles about you.
I want a chocolate waterfall and a square basketball.
I've been doing this on like the Shane Gillis and the Matt McCusker one for the Absolute Cinema. We'll use the other one, the Absolute Ass for this one.
I would hire violent professionals. Powerful men with aggressive beards. Warriors. Warriors who've inoculated themselves to the stresses of combat. Sheepdogs in suits. I don't know why I get so gay when I think about being that rich.
Guess that was a joke.
You know what I mean? I think that's what happens when you make
It's
that
like
much money.
so this is at least the second time he's done a long form bit like this where he just starts acting weird in a way that's like genuinely like grating and irritating, and he just does that until he stops feeling like it, and it's just like, so yeah, I don't know why I was kind of acting like that just now. When like shitty dudes are like, women can't be funny, like what they picture in their head is not a woman. They picture Bryan Callen in a wig, because this is like shitty, unfunny girl humor that he's doing.
You know what I mean? I think that's what happens when you make that much money, because you can walk into a room and be like, I want to fuck everyone, you know? And they'll do it.
This is like what he thinks about happening, like if you were rich. Like if you're watching this, Like, remove yourself from someone who's listening to Bryan Callen. Like, imagine you're in that thought process, and it's like, and you start fantasizing about what you would do if you had $1 billion, and then your mind goes to like, maybe I would start having sex with men. All right, if that's what you're thinking, but I mean, you could just do that right now. And also, if I had $1 billion, I don't know, I would probably just delete my student loans. I would get myself a house. I would get myself the second car, maybe, because I'm still waiting until this car falls apart to do anything about it. I'm gonna get it registered, and I'm gonna not worry about the cost of energy drinks going up, because I'm not gonna be thinking about like being able to pay a man to sleep with me. I don't. That's, but and the point is, if that was the joke. If that was more so like the focus of the joke, it's like he says this as if it's like a thing that people are just going to be kind of on board with him on, which is like kind of the part that's like a little bit strange, because it's like, this isn't like me being homophobic. This is like him being like not so closeted, like in the things that he's saying. Well, I talk about like women, how he's attracted to women. You find whatever podcast of him saying whatever fucked up shit.
I'm gonna go for it.
Not the pussy.
Oh, by the way,
Not the
excuse
pussy,
me.
Brian.
I've been making out with a woman before, and I've gone places, and I've had her take my hand and go no, and I go, okay, not tonight. Or by the way, give me a couple more minutes to kiss you and move around. I'm gonna break these walls down.
Try it again.
Every fucking guy does that, and you have
Interesting. And then he goes and does this, and he's just like, yeah, if I had $1 billion, I think I'd just start sucking off men. And it's like, you gotta go to therapy, brother.
You got a 30-year mortgage? I mean, I'd be like, fucking, let's go, bro. That's worth it.
There's an alternate reality where this is just what Diddy is doing, and then Bryan Callen is P. Diddy. Like, this is just Diddy without Diddy money, I feel like.
Took his long hair and dipped it in black paint, and then did this once, like, right? Just this bullshit I'm looking at, right?
We see a little hint of irony in any of this, Brian. Maybe a little bit of irony in like the low effort kind of performance art. The guy's not even painting a real painting. You don't see any little bit of irony in maybe what you're doing right now? No? All right, anyway.
And I hear behind me, I hear this voice, and it just goes, do you hunt? Oh, hi. Do I hunt? I have hunted before, yeah. I knew it. You move like a hunter. I'll be honest, when I first saw you, I thought someone had thrown clothing on a jaguar. And what do they call you then? Brian? No. I'm afraid that won't do. Do you mind if I call you Tarzan? I don't care.
Pause, bro. What are we talking about here, dog? Like, what are you... This should be on, like... This belongs next to, like, Megan Stalter on, like, the HBO Pride comedy show.
When I do a character, I actually feel like I'm more myself when I'm not. That was heavy. I actually feel more... You're frowning, but I actually feel like I'm more myself when I'm in character. I feel like I'm taking...
Like, this is along the lines of what Bryan Callen is doing. Like, this is basically just Bryan Callen.
Like, this... Like, you get him in front of, like, a LGBTQ crowd, he's probably going to lighten up. He's going to be more comfortable. They're going to be more responsive to it. He's not going to get 16,000 dislikes. If you just come out and just follow your calling of being like an LGBT alt comic, I'm not going to respect you any less. I'm going to respect you more.
You want to? And that was the first time I met P. Diddy. So not.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah?
There's an alternate reality where this is just what Diddy is doing, and then Bryan Callen is P. Diddy. This is just Diddy without Diddy money.
Is that right? Anyway.
Gotcha.
You got me.
You have to have that. You have to have danger. The only reason it's fun to ride a motorcycle a little too fast is you might
Take a breath, please. Oh my god, bro. I've like paused this video more than he's like taking a break in between words. Jesus fucking.
Because I think she was just bored. I do. I think, you know, we call it a sin. I think she'd call it an escape. I think all of us eventually would have bit that apple. You want to wake up?
Do we think he talks about Adam and maybe make some sort of specific comment about Adam's physique in the Garden of Eden? Do we do that? Do we think? What are the odds? Start taking bets. But yeah, I gotta start streaming these so we can get like votes in the chat.
In a garden, an eternal garden where nothing can hurt you, nothing can kill you, next to a naked virgin. He seemed fine. He was like, "What do you want to do? Climb another tree? Cuddle a vegan tiger?" Money,
It's a
man.
borderline.
You make
It's borderline.
money and you spend it on the wrong shit.
You'd probably get way better at stand up if it's just like this. Bryan Callen's back, and this time he's gay, but like he knows it this time. And it probably would be. It would at least be okay, right? It can't be worse.
And
I don't know. I like this stuff right here where he's not really doing any jokes. He's just like giving you life advice. But it's like I don't want life advice from like this guy who's like isn't the entire reason why I know who you are is because of Joe Rogan.
Radical idea, Christianity, loving your enemy is radical. To turn the other cheek like that, to get hit.
I don't like the pondering and pontificating. Let's just get into the. Let's do something funny. Let's do it. That's what we're supposed to be doing here, Bryan.
And offer the other cheek instead of rolling that shit and coming up and knocking over, you know?
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. And you know what? I think this is like all the stupid fucking MMA shit. I think this is like a more comedic way to try to work that into your act rather than just like going on a tangent using like Brazilian jiu-jitsu slang that you're hoping people just pick up on.
No, I can't, man. My default is murder.
Come on, bro. Your default is murder? You're a badass, you fucking kill people, Bryan? Is that what your default is, or is your default something else?
It's so, man, just even walking in sandals with no arch support, like try that, right? Like, you know?
Walking in sandals with no arch support right after you're talking about like, yeah, I just want to kill people. This is so fucking ass, bro. Fuck you. Fuck you is my response to that joke, Bryan.
16-year-old daughter, that's such a bundle of positive energy. Yeah, anybody have a 16-year-old daughter? Oh.
I hate that face like after that statement. This face, after that statement, just rubs me the wrong way. I don't like this, Bryan.
You know what I mean? Like, what if I come at you? What the fuck? You know, anyway, but, and I'm not here to make fun of anybody.
What if I come at you? What if I attacked you, me, Bryan Callen, and you were standing on corks? What would you do? I would be able to defeat you physically.
Wearing a dress and a beard. I don't like that. I'm not that kind of comic. But and I'm not here to make fun of anybody for wearing a dress and a beard. I don't like that. I'm not that kind of comic. I don't make fun of people. I never made fun of gay people, even in the 90s.
Okay, so I feel like I remember seeing a take on this and talking about how it was kind of like transphobic or like problematic, and so far I don't think it has been. It's just made me think that he's gay. But looks like maybe we're going to be getting into that territory now. Let's see how it goes.
A summer dress, to go from that to a beard. So there's probably a reason that look hasn't caught on historically. Right? Because it's just so abrupt on the eye. For me, just to go from a dress, it's like going from a sensual massage to a flying headlock, you know?
Two things that you seem to be very fond of.
I thought that I had all these thoughts. And then I had my old guy thoughts. I couldn't believe it. It looked like chaos to me. It looked scary. It triggered me. It did. I was like, this is cats and dogs living together. You can't just decide you're gonna wear a dress. What the fuck, you know? It's like, how are we gonna compete with China, you know? Like, I went through these stupid thoughts. I'm getting older and seeing all these young kids who probably majored in equality, and you know, and I'm just it's not my generation, and he's wearing a dress and a beard, and it just looked like a revolution. It looked like change that I wasn't included in. That's what happens when I see young people ambitious. Let's change the world, you know? When I hear young people say that, like you hear let's change the world, I hear let's kill everybody over 50, you know? Right? Maybe it makes some sense. I kept thinking about that. I was like, the whole transgender movement, that happened in this zeitgeist, not mine. And I always think about why. It's very interesting, you know? And I just think about, because when I was growing up, there was...
This seems like he hasn't gotten to a point yet, but it seems like he's more lucid than he has been for most of the special. Let's see what he says. I'm very curious.
In 2015, when Bruce Jenner had an 8-hour operation, and he woke up Caitlyn Jenner, and then a minute later, he won Woman of the Year. And that, I remember that. That was crazy. And I remember I'm just a bunch of like conservatives and traditional Americans. I was like, I have some questions, you know? And we quickly found out the time for questions was over, bigot. This has all been settled science. We don't need your voice. We saw what you did to the other minorities, Whitey, you know? And I was like, what?
That isn't exactly how that
Her
went.
support system was very, very strong. I mean, and vast. I mean, I'm talking about, well, I don't know, let's see. All of the fashion industry, all of Hollywood, all of corporate America, all of legacy media, all of big tech. And that's a formidable group of people. They can make or break you. You know, and then
Weird audio editing right there. Let's listen to it one more time.
all of Hollywood, all of corporate America, all of legacy media, all of big tech. And that's a formidable group of people.
It's weird.
Well,
Anyway.
they can make or break you. You know, and then Caitlyn Jenner came out as a Republican. They were like, fuck that guy.
I mean, that was part of it, but it was also, I think there were some other things about Caitlyn Jenner that maybe people didn't support at the same time. Anyway.
Yeah, but something else interesting was going on because she was a bad poster girl for the movement anyway, because who can afford all that surgery? And being trans was not about surgery. It was about an inner narrative. It was about an inner feeling. It was about something that you cannot describe. It's something that's so sacred and deep. And we were told that this was the most vulnerable minority, and they are statistically. They're the ones most likely to cause self-harm and worse. And so suddenly it was like the feelings became sacrosanct, new for my generation. If you were talking about feelings in my generation, you better be, if you were talking about how something felt, you better be talking about shoes, bitch. But this was different.
Okay. Where's he going with this, though?
This was new. And by the way, this wasn't just about protecting feelings. This was about saving.
Because first he's talking about statistics. I guess he wasn't talking about transgender people maybe being more likely to be a victim of crime that other people committed. Because now he's talking, because I guess he was really just talking about self-harm and worse, as he put it.
That's why. This wasn't just about protecting feelings. This was about saving lives. So that's why, if you had any naysayers, they had to be de-amplified, de-emphasized, de-platformed, defunded, destroyed. So
I guess there were instances where people did kind of get screwed over, but you think of a lot of examples where that didn't really happen.
you can be white and you can be a minority now. And that's wild. And it's very unique because, you know, for black people and brown people and indigenous people, for them to become minorities, they had to go through hundreds of years of brutal colonization and slavery. But now you can have blonde hair and blue eyes, be white as the driven snow, and you can be a minority on the same level because you feel like one.
I mean, where's he going with this?
That's hacking the system, baby. Yeah. Leave it up to white people, man. They're great. White people are like, I'm not saying there aren't real trans people. That's not what I'm saying here, because there are. I'm just saying there are grifters in every community. Yeah. I mean, now you can be white and you can be a bigger minority than a black man. Just ask Dave Chappelle.
What the fuck happened to Dave Chappelle? Dave Chappelle is like one of the least canceled people ever. I stopped paying attention to his specials. He's just kind of washed now. It's not because of any shitty political opinions he has, but I feel like he does get kind of transphobic. It clearly hasn't slowed him down. If there's anything that's slowing him down now, maybe it's the Riyadh Comedy Festival, but I mean, he's made a fucking $700 trillion bazillion from doing that. Don't use Dave Chappelle as an example of, like, having someone's livelihood be destroyed. He's literally, like, just a husk of a guy. He is the grifter. Like, it's just a guy with no integrity that just kind of goes to whoever's paying them the most money.
But at least honor the fact that that's the way I feel about it.
They have like a lot of these like pseudo debate kind of bits where it's just like, well, I'm gonna own the fucking transgender narrative. It's like they don't work because you're like arguing. You're not arguing with like an actual person. It's like a straw man that you're just creating right now, and people aren't laughing. People aren't laughing. They're like whistling because they agree with the sentiment that you're sharing. But it's like, what are we doing here, bro? Come on, tell a fucking joke, brother. Come on. One thing I will say, I was just shitting on Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle wrote some funny fucking trans jokes on the Sticks and Stones special. You should have followed that fucking example, you fucking moron, Brian. Come on.
I can't leave you like that, though. I don't want to be the old guy making fun of a kid in a dress and a beard. And I don't think I was, but it might sound that way. Because I got to go deeper. And I thought to myself, what is it about this zeitgeist? Why did that trans movement take place in this zeitgeist? Why not mine? I would have loved to have worn a dress and a beard.
I bet, brother. You do it now, bro.
And I thought to myself, maybe wearing a dress and a beard is the only thing left for young people to do when they want to feel like some kind of a mystery, some kind of a unique individual. Maybe it's very natural for a young person to want to be unboxable, unknowable, undefinable. And that's the only silent howl that kid can manage, because we live in a world where they know everything about you. That kid's never not been on camera, ever. I remember privacy. I remember it very well, but those planes hit those buildings and we were so afraid. We looked at the government and we said, we'll give you our privacy if you give us our safety.
But I don't think this is coming from a bad place at all, what he's saying, but it's just not. You're talking about people, and the people that you're talking about, like, this isn't going to hit any of them. Like, it's just not accurately representing them, I don't think.
And they were like, how about we do you one better than that? How about a camera and a mic in everybody's hand? And now you're always on camera, my brothers and sisters. You get
my
away
brothers.
with nothing. They do know everything about you. You're an algorithm, a pile of data, and it's all up there. You think you can hide with a...
He's tying it all together. We're talking about the kids. We're talking about the algorithm.
Hood and a mask. That kid should have talked to me before he carried out that terrible assassination. That dumb. They got cameras.
That dumb Luigi, you fucking goofball.
At the number. They know what you like and what you don't like. They know what stops your thumb. They know what dilates your eyeball. They know what glazes it over. They can program you to hate what they hate, and they can definitely program you to love what they already have for sale. And when I say they, does anybody know who the hell I'm talking about? Because I don't. I know there are a lot of theories.
That was a decent joke you just did right there. Honestly, like, I think this whole, like, rant he's going on is, like, more compelling than any of the shit he said that was trying to be funny, because I don't think he's trying to be funny right now, and he's not been very successful at it throughout the duration of the special. I think it's a little misguided, but this is fine. But how's this wrap up?
It's people anymore. I think it's the machines, man. I really do. I think it's the machines. And
he's doing this like Terminator 3 monologue or whatever, where he's like the protagonist of the movie Brazil, and he's like, he's the only guy in the society who's just like, but what if we're all the victims of this? But who was even the oppressor? And it's like, and he's not doing a terrible job at that, honestly. But like, it's at the end of an hour where you've done nothing funny the whole fucking time.
I was thinking about that too, as I looked at that kid's shoes. And I thought to myself, damn, I think I've been getting ready for the wrong enemy. Because I've been waiting for the grid to break down. That's why I practice jujitsu. That's why I have guns. That's why we live in Texas, right, guys? That's why, right? Yeah! You got access to a well. Your garage is a CrossFit gym in case you got to climb a rope, and the stairs break down in the apocalypse. I don't know what you're looking for, but either way, you got a freezer full of game meat. Yeah, good luck. Good luck arm-barring AI gone bad, huh? What's the point of learning anything when AI can do it better tomorrow? That's the other thing that kid is facing. Thought to myself, the future for me, bright, something I could predict. For that kid, it feels like an impending tsunami. It doesn't feel cozy. Blockchain. Autonomous robots. I can't wait, And I thought about that too. The grid's not going to break down, but the machines aren't going to kill us. They don't have to. Why would you kill your own slaves? Yeah, man. You think the iPhone 16 is addictive? Wait till AI 1000 gets here. Ooh, damn. And I thought about that too as I looked around that coffee shop and I saw everybody bent over their phones like broken monks in this unholy communion, just having thoughts thinking they wanted to be somebody else, wanted to be somewhere else, just dragging their thumbs, just a nation of drug addicts. Dopamine, cortisol, adrenaline, dopamine, cortisol, adrenaline. And I thought to myself, damn, maybe it's not a coincidence that this machine I can't turn myself away from. Maybe it's not a coincidence that this machine is also called the Apple. Thank you.
Incredible, dude. That was phenomenal. And then, oh, and then, as the water washed over my clothes, I thought maybe it is not a coincidence that this machine is also called the Tide. Thank you, everybody. 10 out of 10, Bryan Callen. That's got to be the end of it, right?
Thank you very much.
Where'd the mug go? Wait, where'd Illuminati. Where the fuck was the mug? The mug's gone. Instead of, he should not have made that special. And instead, he could have just taken the very few parts where there was actual like thought and effort put into it. Not to make it very funny, but because he cared about it, and you can tell that he cared about it. He could just taken that and just maybe like co-wrote like one scene of like a movie and just gotten himself like a writer's credit or something, and we could have just saved us all from just like having to watch this bullshit.
Machine is also called the Apple. Thank you very much.
Damn, what can I even say about that? All-time greatest punchline to any joke ever. Man, that's like bong hit transplant level sensational. Should have known, like, you're obviously not doing stand-up very often. You're not doing, like, you're not out, you're not practicing all this shit. You're, like, there's no way. You have no material. You have fucking nothing. And, like, just the rants at the end with no jokes. No, like, hardly, like, no attempted jokes. Is like the only shit that you put any fucking effort into. So just try to just write a fucking book or so. Do anything else other than this stand-up special. Like, even if you could have made it like not cringe and just stupid as fuck with the Apple line at the end, nobody's gonna care about it no matter how good it is, even if it wasn't like that, because you set it up with 55 minutes of just terrible fucking stand-up. What are you doing, Bryan? 1 out of 10 for sure. I mean, put the fries in the bag. Put the allegations in the bag award. Merry Christmas, y'all. Holy shit.